Welcome to the 2024 Birch Golf Classic Zoom Forum. I'm Sarah Rothenbuehler, Birch Equipment's owner, CEO, and board chair for the Birch Golf Classic. And I'm happy to introduce my coworker who wouldn't introduce herself. That's Jessie Everson. She is Birch Equipment's Director of Employee and Community Programs, and she's also co-chair of the Birch Golf Classic and is just a gift and a joy to be able to work with. We together have designed and run the Birch Golf Classic with the help of our amazing board. Sam Adkins is former Seahawks quarterback. He was the original number 12 before they retired the jersey. That's and the only player to ever wear the number 12. Very successful contractor. Jake Locker, former UW and Titans quarterback, a business owner, co-owner of the Locker Room, coach, and soon-to-be teacher. Jay Julius, a business owner of San Juan Seafoods at Roach Harbor and Friday Harbor. Jay is a commercial fisherman and founder of another incredible nonprofit organization. Paul Tweet is private wealth advisor for ARIA Financial Services of Northwest Mutual, and he's also treasurer for Whatcom Hospice. Our Day of Volunteer team is headed by the beautiful Carol Garjewel. And Carol also plays a really key part in the tournament because, as I've mentioned to a few of you before, she guarantees the good weather for the tournament. She guarantees that our tournament is always the Wednesday night after Labor Day and the Thursday. We do a pre-tournament dinner the Wednesday night, and then we play golf the Thursday after Labor Day. And Carol has pulled through for 9 years straight. Good to have friends in high places, and thank you, Carol. So the tournament is at the Bellingham Golf and Country Club, and it brings people from all over the state and region. A lot of people think, since our headquarters is in Bellingham and the tournament's in Bellingham, that this is only a Bellingham event, but that is in fact not the case. We support organizations that support the state of Washington and beyond, and then people are flying in from all over to be a part of this. And thank you to Hotel Bellwether, who really just has a beautiful facility, restaurant and hotel facility on the water, and they provide special pricing for all the Birch Golf Classic guests. Let's see. Okay, we work to make the golf tournament a well-run, good pace of play, enjoyable event, but the magic really lies in the fact that it's a true collaboration of business and community. We work to honor 30-plus community trailblazers each year, and these trailblazers consist of people who are truly special in how they show up in their field of work and in community. And then we try to have trailblazer representation, really representing the beautiful diversity of our region. And we do this through people nominating trailblazers. And through this, we've been able to recognize and honor people from the police force, from education, from heavy industry, academia, food production, ranching, commercial fishing, coffee, athletics, construction, social services, healthcare, refineries, child care, and more. These trailblazers, they come in all shapes, colors, sizes, and ages, and they are taking time out of their busy lives to come and get to know one another, to get to know our recipient organizations, our golf teams, and our sponsors. As many as schedule allows shows up for the night before dinner at the secret location, and they also the next day golf as a fifth golfer during the tournament. And so each team gets to golf with one of these trailblazers. It's a piece of magic with the tournament, and the collaborations they seem to extend far beyond the tournament. The collaborations and the friendship. The collaboration really of business and community is by way of the 30-plus teams and all the sponsors. They're taking their time and money to support this tournament and the organizations that we're choosing to support. We really work to select organizations who are helping people, who help people that are struggling to move on, to give the healing and the guidance and the connection so people can move on to better in different places in their life. So some of our past recipient organizations are Engedi Refuge, BEST, which is Businesses Ending Slavery and Trafficking, REST, which is Real Escape from Sex Trade. These organizations all are working to combat human trafficking. Another organization that we've supported is Northwest Youth Services, and they work to combat the teen homelessness, and that's where we ask them to focus our funds. Whatcom Dream is another recipient organization who does amazing work combating financial illiteracy and fighting the ongoing cycle of poverty. And this year, we are so grateful to introduce Key Recoveries and Life Skills and Whatcom and Skagit Detox via Pioneer Human Services.
Sarah, thank you so much. And I just want to share how thrilled we are to have been included in this Birch Golf Classic. And just our whole team's just blown away by the amount of work, the amount of impact, the passion for the cause that Sarah and her entire team and all of you folks and your organizations are bringing to the table here. It's a wonderful thing, and proud to be in Washington State. So just a bit about who is Key Recovery. So we are a long-term residential substance use disorder treatment operation in South Seattle. And we provide a pathway to sustained recovery for our patients who are all Medicaid patients, helping them overcome the challenges of substance use disorders, mental health issues, and often criminal justice involvement by offering long-term residential clinical treatment, work skills training, and transitional housing. And if you don't remember anything else from my presentation, remember those last 3 points, because together that's the magic that helps us help our patients achieve sustained recovery. We serve high-risk populations. Our typical patient has been through 5 to 8 other treatment programs. They're typically shorter in duration, 31-day programs, high intensity, and that doesn't work for everybody. And that's why so many of our patients have been through so many of them. Many, if not all, have been through homelessness, justice system involvement, and they're repeat users of crisis care services and public services like emergency rooms, et cetera. They come referred to us by drug courts, emergency rooms, detox services like what you're going to hear from Pioneer, other community health providers, law enforcement, family, and sometimes they refer themselves. And so, we are sometimes spoken of as kind of the last chance hotel for a lot of these people who have failed their way through the system. And eventually the system says this patient needs longer term residential treatment. And so that's one of the big differentiators for who we are. We serve over 300 patients a year from 28 Washington counties. We are in South Seattle, but our referrals are all over the state. And sort of this recipe that makes us special is what I mentioned about long-term treatment, and work skills, creating recovery that works. So our patients will be with us anywhere from 4 months to sometimes up to a year. And the reason for that is because they're going through withdrawal processes and kind of making a commitment to their recovery that sometimes takes 90, 120 days just to get to the point of acceptance and humility to be able to take on the work that it takes to do the clinical treatment. At the same time, every one of our patients after the first month is involved in hands-on work skills training, whether it's in our treatment facility or in the recycling plant that we own. And that combination, as I said, of clinical treatment and work skills increases the rates of sustained recovery. Ours is a proven process. We've been in business for over 50 years. There's dozens and dozens of success stories that are fun to share, and some examples of people who are primary engineers in the Department of Transportation doing bridge construction work. We have people who are CDL drivers for a number of other operations that use transportation. We have a number of people who work within our own business in important positions like ours. We also offer, above and beyond the treatment and the work skills, recovery house and transitional housing that helps solve one of the significant problems of helping people with our patients' backgrounds be able to get reentry into housing and into independent living. We support that with extensive case management, and we have family services that helps facilitate family reunification, which is another critical milestone on the path to sustained recovery. Probably the biggest differentiator beyond the long-term treatment is our work skills program. So you see here a picture of somebody working in our recycling plant. There's significant, well-researched evidence that shows that sustained recovery is significantly tied to meaningful and purposeful work-life balance, and employment being one of the most important factors in sustained recovery. And this comes from SAMHSA, which is one of our critical organizations that monitors the substance use disorder industry. So I want to introduce you to our recycling operations called Cedar Recycling. It's also in South Seattle. We serve over 1,300 customers a year, from sort of small local businesses to good-sized, medium-sized operations to statewide and national organizations. And you can see the logo here. We process over 5,000 tons per month, and none of it goes to landfills. We have 20 to 30 patients that are working in our recycling plant every day. They're volunteers, they're not paid. It's part of their treatment. And the combination of the experience and the credentials that they can gain working there help them rise in our organization and get productive jobs elsewhere. Our goal is for them to get employed at a minimum of 20% above minimum wage. So we're trying to help them get into, sustainable income levels and help them re-enter the community as healthy, productive members of society. So here's just a sampling of the jobs that people do for us, as again, in the recycling plant, as well as in our treatment facility. There's a number of certifications that people can get working with us that'll help them in the broader work world be able to get into jobs that are good paying jobs with career advancement potential. So nobody better to hear this story from than Aaron Olsen, who is our operations director at Cedar Recycling. And so I'm going to turn this over to a great video that you're going to hear from Aaron.
I am 35 years old. From 17 to 27, I spent half that time in some form of institution, jail, or prison. I was so broken and so beaten when I came in here. I was a hopeless heroin and methamphetamine addict, robbing, lying, cheating, stealing, and I found out I didn't have to do that anymore. The return to work program and job training was an essential part of my recovery. It taught me how to stand on my own 2 feet, take care of myself, and be that productive member of society that I did not know I could be at the time. People saw something in me, like I said, that I didn't see in myself, and it gave me so much pride, and I became so proud of myself, and I became part of this mission, and it helped me blossom and transform me into who I am today. When I first realized that I potentially had a chance at life and that there was hope, was about 90 days into the program. I remember the light switch flipping in my head. I realized there was something bigger and better out there for me. I came down here every single day. They taught me how to drive a forklift. They taught me how to operate every single piece of equipment there was in that warehouse. And I realized I was capable and worth more than what I was doing. This program more than saved my life. This program gave me RN back. That was lost for so many years.
So with the support of the Birch Golf Classic and the support of all the participants, we're going to increase the number of long-term residential beds that we have available by 50%. And this is incredibly important because our job at Key Recovery and Life Skills Center in Cedar Narrows is to give people access to the best treatment that we can offer. And then they have to bring a why that's bigger than ours, because ultimately it's people like Aaron who have that commitment to their own success that are going to make it happen. So increasing capacity is really important. We want to expand and will expand capacity in transitional housing. So we have more places for people to go once they're out of treatment, as they're moving into long-term independent living. And we want to expand, and we are expanding the scope of our work skills program to include new certifications for jobs of the future. So going beyond the kind of hospitality environment of jobs in our treatment center and the light industrial work in our recycling plant. So I just want to thank you again for allowing us to be part of this, and thank you for helping us help save the lives of people in Washington State.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's a village. It's a lot of good people and businesses collaborating to make this happen. And now we are going to pass the mic to Hillary Young with Pioneer Human Services, and they are representing Whatcom and Skagit Detox.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Nice to see you all today. And I really appreciate this opportunity to share more about Pioneer Human Services and more specifically our detox programs. So Pioneer Human Services, we are headquartered in Seattle, but as you can see here, we really we do serve people from all across the state of Washington, and our service programs are located basically from Pierce County all the way up to the Canadian border, and then over in Spokane. We served about 12,000 people last year across all of these programs. And this is just because it's a lot to take in. And again, like Joe, if there's a few things you remember, I figure presenting it a couple different ways will help just familiarize you with our portfolio of services. So we do have detox and stabilization services. Detox is the real focus for the Birch Golf Classic. And so I will dive into that a little bit deeper, but wanted to give you a sense of sort of where those programs are located across the state, in addition to our residential treatment, reentry, housing, and employment services. And then this again just looks at the by area. If you're interested in what is in your particular community, you can get a better sense here of the service delivery model that we have by county. And again, looking at detox as being what we'll really focus in on these next few slides. And that is something that we do provide in Skagit, Spokane, and Whatcom community. Let's talk a little bit about why detox matters. For many people, detox is that first step towards recovery. It is the safe, secure place for people to be able to go and manage their withdrawal symptoms in a safe way, to be able to really break that physical dependence on alcohol and other drugs. Depending on which drugs, and I will say drugs because most people are users of more than one substance, they may stay there 3 days, 5 days, up to 12 days. Again, just wanting to make sure that people are safe and stable so that they can move to the next step of recovery. That is really the purpose of detox. Detox is also important to communities. It provides a more effective and affordable alternative to both addiction and mental health issues, which oftentimes otherwise end up, displayed on the street, in our local ERs, and in the jails. I really would like to share the story of one of our employees who actually started out as a client in Whatcom Detox to give you a sense of what can happen when somebody takes that first step towards recovery. So Askia, self-proclaimed, crawled into Whatcom Detox after years of unsuccessful recovery attempts. He'd been through jails, institutions, in and out of different types of treatment facilities, and none of it had really worked for him. And then he came to Whatcom County and was connected to Whatcom Community Detox. There, he completed detox. He was referred then to residential treatment, successfully completed that, really was kind of thinking about what he wanted to do next. And by working with, again, our staff at Detox, who he had kept in touch with, they really urged him to pursue his educational dreams. Since then, he has earned his associate's degree at Skagit Valley College and followed pretty quickly by his bachelor degree at Western. He then did some volunteer work at Whatcom Community Detox. Shortly thereafter, he was hired as a treatment specialist. And today he actually manages our health and resource department and has been there in working for us since 2019. So really has turned his life around. And I would like to say that every single person who comes through Detox has the same outcome that Askia does. And the fact is that Detox makes a huge difference for a lot of people. 62% do transition into treatment programs, either residential programs like Joe talked about, or outpatient programs, sort of depending on their level of need. And that's great, right? We serve about 800 to 900 people each year in both Whatcom and in Skagit Detox. And so, 62% of those folks are transitioning into other treatment, and that's wonderful. The other 38% often are falling through the cracks, right? There is relapse. You see that show up in different ways in our communities. Looking at how the proceeds from the Birch Classic are going to make a difference in that is that for those people who today are not able to make that transition, we're really looking to increase that number from 62 to a much greater number by making a stronger connection to residential treatment, offering door-to-door transportation. A lot of people leave Detox today with a referral and a bus ticket, frankly, right? And so many of you have been at local transit centers and you see that, it is a place where if somebody is early in their recovery, they can be highly vulnerable at that stage. And oftentimes that is a place where you can find drugs, right? And so we do see people relapse. And our goal really here, and with support of Birch Classic, is that there is no more getting lost at the bus station, that people are able to really engage in treatment. And that through that, we are helping to build stronger, safer communities across the state of Washington. I would be remiss if I didn't say, learn more about Pioneer, read more stories and hear more stories like Askia's, learn about the specific programs on any of our social media outlets. And again, I just really want to take a minute to thank Sarah and Jesse and the entire team for choosing Pioneer to support. Our detox facilities are going to make a huge difference. They do today, and we're going to get even better as a result of the support. And just the planning committee, the community trailblazers, the sponsors, we're really grateful for the support.
Thank you. That was wonderful. And I think Jay, he owns and runs the markets at Roach Harbor and Friday Harbor. I don't know if y'all have ever, and so he gave his crew and his kids the day off. So he's multitasking beyond belief and manning one of the markets and doing this. So I bet Jay may jump on in a little bit.
Hi, Sarah. I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone. What all of you do really has a special place in my heart personally, and for my community, our communities, and thank you for the work you do. And it's just a great honor to be working with all of you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jay. There's some comments in the chat. I don't know if y'all have taken a peek at those, but Tally with Lydia Place, thank you for what you are doing to empower and support our neighbors. Thank you, Tally and Lydia Place, and another amazing person, an amazing organization, and Janelle Bruland. Your services are so desperately needed in Washington. Thank you for your passion to help others take back control of their lives. And Janelle is founder of Management Services Northwest, and now runs a pretty amazing consulting business where she empowers other people in the community and business leaders on living their best lives, and has been a past trailblazer as well. So thank you, Janelle.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Hillary, how many patients you have on what's the capacity that you can have as far as your patient load?
Absolutely. So right now we have 16 beds each in Skagit and Whatcom detoxes. And we are actually, next month, we'll be breaking ground on an expanded detox in Skagit County that will open at the end of 2025 and should about double our capacity there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much. Thank all of you that I've heard from today. This is just amazing work you guys do in our community, and it's so appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is the Birch Golf Classic website. And when you land on this home page, you can see the general information. You can see links to learn more about Key Recovery and Pioneer Human Services and Whatcom Skagit Detox. You can learn about the past recipient organizations. When we work with organizations, we want to keep them, we want to stay connected with them. We want them even if they're not the organizations we're highlighting on a given year, we want them to come to our night before event. We want them to come to the tournament, whatever their schedule allows, so they can continue to meet more community trailblazers, meet more businesses, and meet the other recipient organizations, and perhaps collaborate together for our community. And maybe it helps them with all the heavy lifting that you all are doing. The next page. So when we scan this, what you can see is, and why don't we jump on Lofa to Tupu? So Lofa is one of our trailblazers. You can click on the site and see a bio on Lofa. Watch our Facebook and our Instagram, and you'll see the trailblazers highlighted and information about the event highlighted. If we click back, you can see the prize that's teamed with Lofa. If you scan down there, you'll see flow. Oh, there we go. And we can click on and learn more about the prize. So every team, we ask the teams to put in a lot of money. And we also try to provide a lot in return. And we try to do high-level prizes that represent things you can do in the Pacific Northwest, highlight local businesses, but also, most importantly, that highlight these amazing trailblazers that do so much for our communities in so many different ways. This is our team page. So what you can see on the team page is the teams right now are working to earn funds. They're in order of the funds raised. The cutoff is August 28th at 2 p.m. Leading up to that event, every time you look on this page, it'll look different. Teams are asking their vendors, asking their friends and family, donating themselves, and they're jumping ahead of the other teams. They're vying position right now for Trailblazer Prize selection. So whoever's at the top left-hand corner of this page at 2 p.m. on August 28th is going to get the first pick. So they have a chance of getting a private home in Hawaii with maybe, I think it's close to a $20,000 value for a week at that home. Plus they get to spend the day with that trailblazer. So leading up to that, Mills Electric can be watching McKinstry. They can add $5 to their team and jump ahead of McKinstry. The way you donate to a team, or the way the team donates to themselves, is you just click on the logo. You put the money, you get your credit card out, you put the money in, and then the team moves into the place of the dollar amount you gave. 100% of all the funds that these teams are raising, or that you're donating to these teams, 100% of all funds raised by this whole event go to Whatcom Skagit Detox, Pioneer Human Services, and Key Recovery. You're just simply helping the teams get better positioned for their Trailblazer Prize selection. There's another way you can donate, and it's the I Just Want to Donate tab. So sometimes we have people that go, I just want to do something. I just want to take a quick minute and donate. So we'll send them a link to this. Another way to get involved is through our sponsorships. And I want to highlight, if you look on here, please thank these businesses. A lot of these businesses have been helping us since day one. And Mills Electric is our top sponsor this year. And we can thank Mills Electric for the swag. We have these great Cutter and Buck golf vests that we'll be handing out to all the recipients, and it'll have the Golf Classic logo and Mills on it. But you can see WRS, McKinstry, Management Services Northwest, Umpqua Bank. They're in charge of our refreshments. We've got Marathon, Larson Gross, Pape, Sound Beverage, Linda, IMCO, USI. You can see all these businesses, and we'll have more. People are working now. The whole sponsor is our kind of our step-in sponsorship level, and we are hoping to get more of those. That's a $2,000 sponsorship. If you ever want to see past results, if you ever want to look at the rules, you can click on our website. We try to put all the information here so that it's easy to understand and learn and see how to get involved. Okay, thank you very much. Well, that's pretty much it for our 2024 Zoom forum. We would love it if you signed up. If anyone wants to sign up for our direct emails, anyone has any ideas for us to make this a more successful event, we are all ears. But otherwise, I would just like to wrap up by saying thank you so much, Aaron. It's so nice to meet you via Zoom, and hopefully one day in person. Come to our dinner or come to our event if your schedule allows. We'd love to meet you in person.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. And just thanks for everything you do.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Pleasure to be on this Zoom call. Thank you very much.
Yay, good. And thank you to all the rest of the team also at Key Recovery and Pioneer Human Services, the Birch Golf Classic board and sponsors and teams, and to all the trailblazers that we see on here today as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We are so excited to see. This is such a thrill. And I just I'm going to speak just for a moment, just because Sarah and I connected, and this is how Key Recovery got involved with. And when it's really a thrill to be a part of this, because when many of us who are in Seattle don't know about the Birch Classic, and when Sarah approached me and said, "Hey, what do you think about this? And who do you think would be a good partner with this?" I was hoping she'd pick us, but I certainly gave her other options and said there's a lot of different things you could do. But what was even more exciting is when we started reaching out into the public and starting to talk about that we were involved with the Birch Classic, and the feedback we got was, "Oh my God, really? Like, this is a big deal. Like, this is absolutely hands down the number one golf classic you want to be involved with in the state." So, we did a little happy dance. It was like, all right, fantastic. So we cannot wait. We know this is a multi-year endeavor. And so this is just year one, and we know we're going to build it in the next 2 or 3 years. And so thank you for including us. We are going to do a lot of work and make on our end, and keep bringing people to the table and share our experience. And so can't wait for the 4th and the 5th. Super excited.
Thank you, Monica. That is wonderful. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We should have practiced a better way to sign off.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.